that flower on the window sill. Do you remember what it was you said?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Our next piece, I just wanted to take a moment to read the text. This piece, The Piece of Wild Things by Jake Runestad, has really become a favorite of the choir. So I just wanted to take a minute to read the text, which I think is just so powerful. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world and am free. We hope you enjoy.
was filled. In the red Casey Jones was killed. Scrub grows and sassafras around the shady stone you pass to show where Stonewall Jackson fell. That Saturday at Chancellorsville, pistol with bayonets on steel across the Custer battlefield. The sky is black.
Well, it is not often that when a piece is commissioned, that the composer lives in the Philadelphia area, and so I prevailed upon Kile to have a few words about the composition, how he came about picking the hymns that or the poems, not hymns, the poems. And so I ask you to welcome up here Kile Smith.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Dave. How are you doing? You having fun yet? Well, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. I'm doing swell already because something happened that never happened to me before. Driving up Main Street here in Lansdale, I saw my name hanging above Main Street on a banner. And of course, it was an announcement for this concert, and so I was so excited about that. I took a picture, even though there was a green light in front of me. There was nobody behind me, I think. And so I took a picture. I put it up on Facebook, and I said, you know, this is great. Never happened to me that I was. You know, that's me, you know, hanging over a town. And actually, someone corrected me. And I know, hard to believe. But they corrected me and said, no, this actually happened once before. So about 10 years ago, we did Vespers.
Yes.
Yes. And in Philadelphia, there's the Pico building. And I don't know who Dave knows. But he got somebody to put up an announcement for an advertisement for the concert here. It was with P4O and you guys and Vespers, and it was a big deal. And my name was there. And so the person put the video up there with, someone took a video of it. You know, it wraps around the digital letters wrapping around. And so, yeah, I have been hanging over a municipality before, the city of Philadelphia. But I'll tell you, seeing the banner out there on Main Street is just as cool as can be. So we've been having a great time, and came to a rehearsal and then to the dress rehearsal last night, hearing the orchestra for the first time. And so we're having a wonderful time. Just one quick word, excuse me, about the piece that you already heard. And that is, I don't know if you could appreciate when the piano was playing. Let's talk about the snow falling, and the piano was doing, it sounds kind of like what you're hearing now. And it had those little tinkly things, you know, and it was the snow falling. And because I originally wrote this for choir and piano. And after we did the Even the Grass Must Sing, that Dave asked me to write for you, he said, you know, we have a little bit of room still on the concert. Do you have anything else you could, you know, throw in there that you would like to orchestrate? And so I thought of the last movement of a piece I'd written for the Santa Fe Desert Chorale a couple, 3 years ago, and I orchestrated that. But that piece of the piano was so, just perfect on the piano, meaning I didn't know how to orchestrate that. You know, I just thought, it just sounded perfect on the piano. So I said to Dave, I said, hey Dave, can we have a piano in the orchestra? And he said, yeah, no problem, because we're doing the Frostiana, and that's got that in there. So I thought, great. So the piano you heard in there is the same as the piano in the piano version. So I was able to put that in there. But for this, what you're about to hear, Even the Grass Must Sing, the program notes are terrific. And I can say that because I didn't write them. So the program notes in your bulletin, you know, what happens is you write the piece and you spend months writing a piece. And then they come to you and they say, oh yeah, we'd like to have program notes too. And you think, I just wrote this big piece, you know. But anyway, you never had that problem with Dave, because he does all the program notes, and they're excellent. They're wonderful. There's stuff in there I didn't even know about my piece. It was all true. He's telling me about the background of the Japanese philosophy and all that, and it's really wonderful. It's all true. But I wanted to tell you, so Jane Flanders, you may not have ever heard her name before, but she's a published poet. She's gone from us now. But I know about Jane Flanders because I wrote a piece for the Vocal Arts Ensemble in Cincinnati. And I was up there for a week we performed the piece, and we also recorded it. And this is, oh, here's something else. So this is one of my 3 Grammy nominations, right? I've never won a Grammy, but I've got 3 nominations. I'm like the Glenn Close of composers. You know, she's been nominated like 7 times for an Oscar. She's never won. So I think that's pretty good. So when I win one, I'll have one more than the Beach Boys. They've never won either. But anyway, I didn't actually get the nomination for this, but I kind of did, because the Canticle, which is what we did, we made a CD, is the big piece, 65-minute piece I wrote for them. And the guy who was the producer won for Classical Producer of the Year with the Canticle CD and like 7 other CDs too. So that's how that happened. So I explain that in my bio because I don't know if they could sue you or I could be thrown in jail for saying that. Anyway, that's how that happened. So I'm in Cincinnati, and one of the baritones is Ben Flanders, and we got to know each other. And he said, I'd like you to read my mother's poetry. So he gave me a book, and I fell in love with it. And he gave me like 4 other books, and I started reading all this poetry. So Ben wanted me to write him a baritone solo, an art song. And I did, and then he wanted me to write an art song cycle with his mom's poetry, and I did that. Well, in looking up all the poetry, I kept all these other ones that I hadn't used yet in my hip pocket. So I got a Google Doc with all these other poems that I really liked, but I haven't had the opportunity to use. So when Dave asked me, do you have anything else? No, that's the other story. When Dave asked me for this piece, I went back to this and I thought, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I can come up with 15, 18, 20 minutes with that. And so that's how Jane Flanders is being set by Kyle Smith on these pieces. Now, I love these poems, and it begins again. So I'm not going to go through this and repeat what you've got in your program notes, but the first one, Even the Grass Must Sing, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 verses, and I do this thing where verse 1 is in one key, and verse 2 is in another key. Technically, they're modes, it's modal. Don't worry about that. They're keys, you know, it's just kind of goofy, a little goofy. Not too goofy, don't be scared. And verse 2 is in another one. Verse 3 goes back to the first key. Verse 4 goes back to the second key. So they just keep toggling back and forth. But because the words are slightly different, the music is slightly different too. So even though you recognize it, we're coming back to this, the music is slightly different because if you want a key to my music or understanding my music, that'd be great. And if you understand it, you can tell me because I don't understand it. But you can always follow the words. I'm always tone painting, always. So when it comes up, I'm not going to try to, give you a blow-by-blow there, but that's what I'm doing. So I would encourage you, if you would, page 14, when the music starts, just read along with the words. As I was doing through the first half, I'm looking at the words and then looking up and looking at the words, and you get to see what they're singing about. And so that's what I did. The first one also has this very syncopated kind of groove that goes on, which I hope you will enjoy. And it's not the easiest thing because it's not only the instruments but the singers too. There's a little bit of syncopation there, but not so much I think to throw us. The second movement then is my chance to write something really big. I think at this point we needed something really big. And another key into when I'm writing, how I write, usually I start at the beginning and I go through to the end. And when I'm done, the piece is done. I usually don't do a whole lot of pre-planning, but I felt at the end of Ukiyo-e that I needed something really big, because Ukiyo-e was kind of this and syncopated, stuff like that. So I needed a big thing where you hear all the instruments playing real loud, and oh my, when you hear the choir come in, oh my. They just blow the doors off your car, let me tell you. And so I was very taken by those first three words, it is right. It is right that I fall to my knees on this damp, stony cake. And she's talking about, literally, planting onions. She writes a lot about gardening and about nature, and that's what it's about. But of course, it's about more than that as you read it and you hear it. And these emotions well up in me. And what really got me were those first three words, it is right. It is right. And so it gets really big and loud on it is right, and they repeat it. So that's what's going on in there. And then when I got to the end, I thought, I should repeat that it is right again. So it closes with that. It closes with the beginning. And August Philosophers is not how you pronounce it. It's August Philosophers. And I was making that mistake until I looked at it and said, no, it's August Philosophers. Now that's a phrase from the first movement. And I really wanted August Philosophers, which is the third movement, to follow the first movement. Because the phrase is the title of the third movement. But it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me. Planting Onions said, no, we're next. August Philosophers, take a back seat. So that happens too when you're composing. This is, I really love this movement, and I'm told that everyone came to love this, although is it right to say it's kind of the gnarliest of the movements?
Yes. Initially, when we were rehearsing it, it's the one we had the most difficult with.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of playing of the instruments just by themselves, and they're playing this, what I think is a really cool fugue. And when amongst themselves, and then when the singers come in, they actually kind of complete the fugue. When you get to the point in the fugue where it's like, okay, I've heard the theme, I've heard the answer to the theme, and when you get to the development section, this is kind of when the singers come in. But it's the development section, it's not really a development section. They just come in and they add to it, and then it goes back to the fugue again. So it's kind of a cheating fugue. It's not a full-fledged fugue. I do just enough fugal writing that you think, wow, that guy knows what he's doing. So I shouldn't have told you that I'm cheating through the whole thing. But anyway, I love this movement, and I love what Dave found out about Japanese philosophy, and which I knew nothing about when I wrote this movement. And we end with Even the Grass. And this is one of those movements, to me, it may be a turning point in my career, if I don't want to get too preposterous about this. But if you hear a Mahler symphony, well, that's pretty preposterous. No, I love Mahler, but just to bring up Mahler and talking about my own music. You listen to a symphony of his, and it's just one thing after another. That's what it is. And Woody Allen has a great line. He says, what is life? And he said, well, it's just one thing after another. And actually, he put the curse word in there that I'm not going to put in. But it's right before thing. And so this movement is my attempt to write one thing after another. So it just wrangles its way along and wiggles its way along. And I'm having just a great time with it, with the orchestra and with the singers. And when it gets to the end, and it's talking about even the grass that lies down under the snow, rises, bent and bleached. And we picked that up at the beginning of the concert, didn't we? In another piece. And it has no word for sorrow. And when milkweed spreads its wings, well, that's when the piece really takes off. And I do what my favorite composer Brahms does in the sixth movement of his Requiem, when he's talking about, oh, death, where's thy sting, right? What to do there? He goes into a Viennese waltz. Of all the things. Well, so I stole from Mahler, I stole from Brahms, I go to a Viennese waltz right here at the end, and flies exquisitely off. Even the grass must sing, a falling over and over again, falling. It's just a waltz, and we get to waltz off the stage, and Jane Flanders' poetry does that to me. It's so simple. It's so, it has such the loveliest, clear images that I've fallen in love with it, and I hope you do too. And so that's the end. I don't have anything more to say. That's enough, I think. That's enough, okay. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for coming out. Appreciate it.
Well, what I would like to ask each of you, as the orchestra coming back on the stage, is to turn to one of your neighbors and introduce yourself and explain why you're here for the concert. Are you here because you're a Kyle Smith groupie, a Chorister groupie, or a friend of somebody in the choir? So please do that. Well, I've waited 46 years to be able to say this. Now I bring to you a commissioned work, Even the Grass Must Sing, by Kyle Smith.
friend.